Today, I've entitled this Retreat Discipline and Surrender, which are two concepts that work together and are important on their own. If you study yoga, tantra, meditation traditions, it becomes really clear that discipline is an important piece of it. We must strive if we want to get anywhere, which of course is always a little confusing because then people keep telling you to surrender, which we'll get to in a minute. But there's this piece of it where you have to do something and you have to be focused. In the Yoga Sutras, it's put this way: practice is the continuous struggle to stay established in the state of the true self. And they sort of like throw in like continuous and struggle. And then it says that practice is firmly grounded when it is pursued incessantly with reverence for a long time. So that long time piece, for a lot of people, including myself, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure I want to do this for a long time. It's a little scary, and it's asking something of us. And then if you look at more tantric traditions, they do a similar thing. One of the texts we've been looking at slowly is the Spandarakita, and in that text, it talks about how the same energies that can liberate you can bind you in this world if you don't have the right perspective and sort of proper orientation and discipline in your practice. And the little bit out of there that I think is useful is this one. Just as an object that escapes attention is more clearly perceived when we make the effort to see it better from all angles, so the supreme sacred tremor appears to the Tantrika when she strives towards it. In this way, everything is in tune with the essence of her true nature, which is basically saying, if you don't strive towards it and use your practice to look at yourself from all angles, you're going to have a little trouble expanding in your meditation practice. So we must direct our mind in some way. And that practice itself is discipline. And I think the issue with the word discipline is probably because the way we've grown up and heard it in other contexts, it doesn't sound very fun. And for a lot of us, that is a little off-putting, I think, at times. And sometimes we might feel like it's not something we really want to be immersed in. Like it's more like something we want to get through. Like I'm going to have the discipline, I'm going to get this thing. But I look at it slightly differently. Discipline is more the willingness to maintain our perspective that we've gotten either through texts or teachers or meditating itself. So it's more the idea that we are in a sort of constant state of reminding ourselves of what we want. It's not the same thing as doing things we don't want to do. It's actually the complete opposite. It's the constant remembrance to remind ourselves to do what we actually want to do. So I think if we kind of frame it in that way, it's a little easier to have discipline because you're like, right, this is what I actually want. I actually want to know myself. I actually want that. I actually want to be mindful and be more in the present and remember, right, what is truly important. And when we do that, we have the ability to surrender. So without the discipline, the surrender doesn't really come. And remember, the discipline is actually more of a remembrance. And then we have the ability to surrender. The sutras have I like the Yoga Sutras mostly because it's so concise. So 123 says the end of spiritual practice is only obtained by surrendering. It's like pretty clear. It doesn't leave a lot to interpretation. So you're like, okay, I guess I should do that surrender thing. In the Spandharakita, it's a little more poetic, and to me, kind of brings it home a little more. With his only support, the recognition of the heart, the Tantrika is in harmony with the world. So surrender comes by guiding our minds towards truth. So there's lots of ways that's talked about. Some in that last thing from the Spandharakita, it's like knowing yourself, like knowing your own heart is a way to get to that truth. Truth is the present. Truth is the oneness of all things, and especially our ability to see the interconnectedness of things. So to surrender, we need enough orientation and discipline to remember that we're kind of moving in that direction of oneness. And to feel that surrender, we need to find or feel or know ourselves at our very core. So in yoga, this is usually expressed in two ways. And you'll hear this all the time: knowing who we truly are or finding our heart. Those are like the greatest hits of how yoga likes to like talk about surrender. So we meditate to do this, and we meditate to know ourselves, we meditate to find our heart, we meditate to find ourselves at our core. And the only way to do this is to constantly help the mind orient towards what it actually wants.